Yeah, hi everyone, welcome to Emsley Lodge for another week. A little bit of a quiet week. It was very, very wet this week, wasn't it? Ran a really nice horse at Sandown on Wednesday. Zippity Zoustar was his first up run. Pretty happy, sort of went into that without a trial. And it was pretty solid sort of the line. Jai McNeil come back and give the horse a nice wrap. Went to a heavy 10. Interesting, Luke Nolan said that it was the heaviest, the wettest track he's ridden on in a long time. So big horse like him probably did a good job to get round a real heavy track like that. So not sure where we'll take him now, but you would think if I step him up to a mile or something like that, he's going to be pretty hard to beat no matter where we take him. Okay, runners this week, I'll kick off at Geelong on Friday. I've got a horse here called Blow In. He showed us a heap on the training track last time in, but a couple of starts he had, he was just sort of bombing the start and getting a long way back and half pie working home. And I was really disappointed in what he was actually taking to the races. So we put him away, brought him back in, and he seems so much more focused and just sort of seems that he knows what he's doing. Because of these really heavy tracks at the moment, and I haven't taken him to the trials. I've given him a jump out here at the farm and he was very good. I actually jumped him out with a horse called Zippity Zoustar, which went to Sandown on Wednesday and was pretty competitive. So, and there was nothing much between them. So I'll take him to Geelong tomorrow. I'm very mindful that he hasn't had a trial. He's only had a little jump out here, but 1,200 metres. Heavy track, I'm not sure. Once again, a little bit of lottery. You've got to either trial them on bog heavy tracks or take the punt that they'll go straight over the synthetic. So a few little question marks on him, but I really do think he's going to be a bloody nice horse. And I just love the way he's just one of those really good galloping horses. When you watch his track work, anybody who sort of watches it goes, gee, that horse can really gallop. So he'll run on Friday at Geelong. Rockerama, a little first starter. He's had a couple of trials, trialled up okay, but he needs to get to the races. So he'll have his first start tomorrow, drawn a barrier 18. So we'll certainly, we're not expecting him to set the world on fire, but I want to get this horse to the races. So we'll probably jump out and just we'll leave it absolutely in the lap of the gods and leave it up to the jockey as to where he's going to land. He began the other day in his trial like an absolute bullet, so he might find himself sort of half handy in a 1400 first up, but I've done plenty of work with him. Fitness isn't an option. He's a bit race dumb. He hasn't really done a real lot of trialling, only on the synthetic in like 3 and 4 horse trials. So, but he needs to get to the races, and he'll have his first start on Friday at Geelong. Head up to Matoa on Sunday with Mauser. He's just been a horse that he's just been very, very soft and been a little bit on the fat side. He bled last time in, had a big long spell, and I've just been struggling to get him fit. He's had 2 runs in now, and I thought his last run was a lot better than his first up run, and so he's very close to being off the mark. He might still need one more, but I think if I take him to Matoa on Saturday, he's probably going to be the best horse in the race. He only has to half pie draw a gate. I'll kick him out and ride him up outside the leader, and I'm pretty confident on my fitness is good enough to run over 1,200 metres. So he'll be a really big price and certainly a really good each-way bet at Matoa on Sunday. Warrnambool Monday, I've got Groovy Baby here at Warrnambool. He's just been a bugger for eating. He's just, you think you just about got him right, and he starts eating up, and you give him a little bit of work, and then he sort of leaves food, and then for some unknown reason he'll leave more food than the following day after a quiet day. So he just needs to get a bit tougher, and it'll happen, and I really like the horse, but he's just got to get a bit better in the feed bin. So we've been really, really soft on him. I'm going to give him a really nice solid gallop tomorrow morning. If he eats up well after that, he'll go to Warrnambool on Monday. That's Groovy Baby. I've got Typically Brazen in at Warrnambool on Monday. Look, she went up to the 2,000 metres the other day and they just went way too fast. She ran about 2 seconds quicker than for the first 1,000 than she did for the previous start where she was narrowly beaten. The horse that sort of beat her at Geelong ended up going out and winning its next start at Caulfield. So form around is really good. She just got ridden probably a little bit upside down and going up to 2,000 metres. So we might bring her back to the mile and just ride her just sort of half handy. She'll be in the first couple. But I'll give her a gallop tomorrow morning. If it works up well enough, we'll probably send her back to the races on Monday. Got Young Hostess in at Sandown next Wednesday. Look, she's really, I won't run her on a real heavy track, and Sandown was as heavy as you got this week. So I've got her nominated. We'll probably accept, but you'd want to get a fair bit of fine weather for her to warrant sort of coming through and running next week. But she ran a really good race the other day. She's pulled up good from it, trained on okay, but she might just have to have 4 or 5 weeks between runs and let these tracks firm up a little bit.
G'day guys, welcome to Around the Stables. This week's horse is a horse called Rockerama. He's been a bit of a tricky horse just as far as his barrier manners go. He's been a bit of a handful sort of getting in the gates and things like that, but we seem to be on top of that problem now. Probably just a bit of an advantage having the barriers here at the farm, that we can spend a bit of time with him and just take our time with him and make sure he's 100% before we go to the races and things like that. Big raw sort of horse. He's sort of just taking a while to sort of, get fit. Yeah, he's big, strong, sort of hard going sort of thing. What trip he gets to, I'm not sure, whether he's a miler, 2,000 metre horse, but he certainly does run okay times here at the track. He'll kick his preparation off at Geelong on Friday. He's drawn barrier 18, so that's always going to be a question mark, but with the amount of rain we've had here, barrier 18 might not be the biggest disadvantage in the world. So yeah, I don't know where he'll land in the run. Hopefully sort of midfield, something like that, and then see him sort of coming down the outside and running home strongly. He'll certainly improve on what he does on Friday, and yeah, hopefully he can run a couple of placings or even put one away this prep. Would be nice.
Yeah, that's it for another week at Emsley Lodge. Thanks for watching. I thought big Zippity Zoustar was pretty good through the week, wasn't he? I think you'll find he'll be a lot better on top of the ground as well, rather than on a heavy 10. Try and get him up over a mile next start. Might try and get him to sort of, I think he's probably going to be a 2,000 metre horse. Try and get him up over the 2,000 before the better sort of spring horses come through, and he might be able to sort of play in the shallow end of the spring there somewhere, so not sure where he'll end up. What else we got going? Lauren Zeddy, probably keen to get him back to the races, but there's just no races really there for him, so he might just have to have a few weeks between runs, that horse, but he galloped up yesterday really nice, you know. What else? I see the Kangaroos, everything's turning around beautifully there for them. Alistair Clarkson's looking for a job, he'll come over. See Buddy's leaving Sydney, he'll come down there. Grundy will leave Collingwood, he'll probably end up at our place. I even think there's a few contractual issues there with Dusty, so he might come over as well. A few first round draft picks, everything will be beautiful for the Kangas next year. Can't wait. Anyone who's missing big jobs this week, he's actually got a broken wrist. Had a game of footy and broke his wrist a month ago, and he's been toughing it out like he does. Not. He had surgery through the week, so anybody who's missing big jobs, that's where he is. He's lying in bed with plaster on his hip, and they actually did a bone graft off his hip and put it into his wrist, so it was actually a pretty significant injury. So anyone who's missing big jobs this week, he's laying in bed. Till next week, see you later. Got typically Brazen in at Warrnambool on... Really? I think you'll find he'll improve significantly when he gets on top of the ground as well, rather than on a big heavy track. Thinks everything will be beautiful for the Kangas next year. Can't wait. Till next week, see you later. And then I miss big jobs again.